throw out the entire IRS. They are for a national sales tax. Well, isn't that the same thing? What difference does it make whether you tax a company producing a product that's going to be sold to you or just waiting to tax the person when they purchase it? Either way, when you purchase a product, the tax is being paid by the consumer. So a tariff on a product, I don't have a problem with it. If it causes the consumer to not be able to afford it, what difference? How is that different than applying a really big
because
tax
we're paying tariffs and taxes?
Well, you shouldn't be double taxed on money. My personal opinion on taxes is taxes should only be taxed one time per person in possession of it.
Oh, you mean if I sell a car 7 times, it shouldn't be taxed 7 different times?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it should be taxed 7 different times because it might be sold to 7 different people.
Right.
So each of those 7 people should pay a tax on that.
So the act of a sale is taxable.
Yeah, I would say if the government wants to say that anytime a sale takes place.
So if I sell my toaster oven to you, you should pay tax on it.
Well, I'm saying you can make that law in the tax.
I know you could do whatever you want, but I'm saying you believe that should go down that way?
Might have to think about that. It'd be a little hard to decide whether or not a product has been sold over and over again.
Right.
So you're saying only tax a product one time when it's sold as brand new. And then after that, no sales tax. I mean, if I go to an antique store, I'm paying sales tax.
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't have a problem with if you want to tax that kind of economic activity, whatever. But don't tax my income and then tax me when I buy a product.
Correct.
You're taxing money that I am in possession of twice.
Right.
Once when it gets to me as in the form of an income tax, and then you're taxing that same money again when I purchase a product.
And they have put us at a 35 to 40% tax rate in America for people who work that pay all these taxes. They take the tax out of my check and then all the taxes I pay for all the items that I buy.
Right. And that doesn't even include all the taxes that were taxed to the companies who made the products you're purchasing.
Right.
Who then pass on that savings to you.
So what he's talking about with a tariff is an imported product or an exported product.
Okay.
So our products that are exported to other countries need to be taxed to those countries. Those countries should be paying the tariffs on those products equal to that of them trying to send them into our country, which is not being done.
Okay. So it's kind of like an equal 1-for-1.
Right, but it's completely one-sided.
It's lopsided. Yeah.
And it doesn't benefit us as Americans whatsoever.
So I could see him fixing that.
And it's literally, and when he says it's shipping money out of the country, it is because it's more beneficial to a wealthy businessman to send his money out of the country than to keep it here.
So one thing that Trump was talking about with regards to that would be like an example would be Carrier, the air conditioning company.
Right.
They make air conditioners.
Or even Ford.
Well, let's just talk about Carrier. So Carrier is an American company, and they were based in America. They want to move their assembly operations overseas, and then we would purchase imported products from this American company who has assembly operations overseas. Trump wants to discourage that by saying, well, you can do that, but then we're going to slap a big tax on everything imported.
Right.
And so you're going to end up saving money just staying in America.
Yeah. I think that sounds great.
And the funny thing about that would be that it doesn't cost the Americans any more money because we're paying for the expensive labor
right
already. If they're assembling it and they're saying, gosh, we can't afford to make them in America anymore because labor's so high, they got to charge us for that.
Right.
They're charging expensive prices for their air conditioning unit because of how much they have to pay their employees. Right. So they're trying to be more competitive by assembling these things overseas for cheap labor. Then when they bring it back over from overseas, they might be able to sell it to us for less because it was assembled for really cheap labor.
Right.
If Trump taxes them enough to force them to charge the same amount,
It would be irrelevant.
it would be
It'd a
irrelevant
wash.
to the consumer,
Right.
to the American people.
We'd be paying Carrier the same price. Carrier wouldn't be making any more money.
No, they'd be making less because now they got to charge to ship it over.
Shipping, right.
Yeah, the shipping would be ridiculous. So, I'm all for it because it doesn't cost us a dime.
Well, and it's sad to see that America has some of the highest tax rates for corporations. I know you're going to hate it when I say that, but it's true because corporations that flourish put the money back into the company, whether it be R&D, whether it be coming up with new inventions, whether researching their current inventions to make them better. I mean, we're literally the invention capital of the world.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
And to take that away from these companies is to rob us, the consumer. So leave that money into the companies to where they can pay the best of the best employees the best of the best money. I saw some of these Black Lives Matter and some of these protesters holding up signs that say capitalism kills.
How?
I'm just
How?
so... What,
That begs a question. I want to know what...
who taught them this
Well, what are they?
crap?
I need them to explain. That demands further explanation.
Yes, it does. It does. So real quick, I'm going to go over these the numbers real fast before we get into Trump's his America First speech. Currently, right now, the delegate counts. I looked it back up again. The New York Times has got him at 997.
Well, there's always going to be...
A couple, 2 or 3 here and there.
Well, they're people. These are
individual people.
Some
Delegates.
of them may have been on the fence the whole time.
Okay.
So one day they may get a call from a journalist saying, "Who are you going to vote for at the convention?" And they may say Trump. And then 5 minutes later, a different organization calls and says, "Who are you going to vote for?" And they say Cruz.
Okay.
All of a sudden, you get reports of different numbers.
Okay, so New York Times and ABC are calling the delegate count for Trump at 997. And they're saying that he's got 41 unpledged delegates. Cruz currently has 566 with 20 unpledged delegates.
So he almost has half.
Correct. Kasich, 153 with no pledged delegates. Trump needs, according to ABC and New York Times, Trump needs 240 more points, more delegates.
If he makes Rubio the VP, will that put him over the top? He's got like 180 delegates.
Yeah, no. Yikes.
There are people out there saying it's time to forgive him for the Gang of Eight.
No!
I heard that he came out. Don't ask me why. I
Of
don't
the closet?
know. Well, that too.
Yeah.
No, I heard.
There are widespread rumors.
Oh, isn't he married?
There are widespread rumors around Florida.
About what?
Oh, his roommate in college. Yes!
Yeah, but does that make... No, never mind. No.
They were arrested together in a known...
bathroom stall?
It's a part of the park where young men troll the park,
Yeah.
but it's only men.
Kind of like a George Michael situation.
Right. And they asked him what he was doing there. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know. We just went there to talk."
I don't know about that. Come on. Anyway, so he's got 180 delegates or 170 something delegates.
Right.
Trump makes him VP.
No. I would be so disappointed.
And it's better than Kasich or Christie.
How about Clint Eastwood?
Oh, you want a total outsider. Well, put Bobby Knight in there.
Bobby Knight came out this week.
Speaking of which,
Wow.
Bobby Knight could be the VP. How about that?
He came out swinging, saying that Trump is the most qualified candidate that there is.
So Bobby Knight, because now they're fighting over Indiana. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There is
That's this week.
This is the Alamo
Right.
for Ted Cruz, or Custer's last stand, if you will.
Well, this is just Ted Cruz trying to hack away at a redwood.
You're saying that it's over already. The Indiana's real relevant.
Oh, some of Trump's top delegate gatherer guy is saying that with my very extremely conservative calculations, given Cruz X amount of this and X amount of that, and I didn't realize that we'd sweep the last 6 like we did, but going very conservative, we're going to hit 1,400.
Wow, that's kind of... I think that's what... isn't that what... I feel like Romney got that. Romney got about 14-something.
I'm not telling you. It's possible.
Yeah.
Everybody was walking away from the table by then because they were all taken to the woodshed. They were like, hey, this is the establishment talking.
Yeah, we
got our guy.
Right. Interesting. So Bobby Knight comes out. So they're fighting over Indiana. There's 57 delegates in Indiana.
Right.
And it's a winner-take-all. So if Cruz were to somehow get that, it would give him the argument, not that he could get to 1237 himself, but that he can prevent Trump from getting to 1237, forcing a contested convention, in which case he's hoping that the first ballot doesn't go 1237 so that he can have all of his stolen delegates vote for him.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm sorry, they're not stolen. They're bought. I'm sorry.
Oh,
by the way, we know they're bought. We have proof of this.
Okay,
so they're bought.
But that's not illegal.
It's not illegal. All right? There's nothing wrong with putting a huge duffel bag and finding cancer survivors who owe taxes on their home.
Correct.
And telling them they're going to make it all right for you.
Right.
Make it all right. Everything will be fine.
What's your hotel room number? We'll get you taken care of. Right.
I don't have a hotel room now at this point. Whoopsies.
Romney had 1575.
Oh, 1575.
1575.
Then it must have been, was it McCain? Somebody had 14 something. I don't know.
Probably McCain.
Well, by the way, this 1237 number is unique to this election.
Oh,
every
different
election,
elections.
Yeah, they have different numbers of delegates every election.
Okay.
So anyway, Bobby Knight, who is the saint of Indiana, former basketball coach of the Indiana Hoosiers,
and a person who likes to throw chairs out on the court.
He's a volatile. He's the type of person that would definitely be all in for Trump, no doubt. So he they got a very similar personality, actually.
Oh boy,
they're both strong leaders, and they're very effective. Indiana was a powerhouse when Bobby Knight was the coach there.
Right.
So anyway, he comes out and says he touts Trump's ability to solve problems, in particular correcting things when they go wrong. And he got a lot of cheers for that and stuff like that. But what I thought was interesting too, and we're both veterans, and we talk about veteran things a lot here and military stuff. He said, quote, he has that Trump has a tremendous respect for our military.
Wow.
And he pointed out, and I didn't know this, but guess where Bobby Knight was coaching right before Indiana, when he took over at Indiana?
I have no idea.
West Point.
What?
8 years he was coaching at West Point.
Really?
He pointed out how he beat the crap out of the Navy, and he said, if there's any Navy people in here, I'm sorry. I love you guys, but we beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, man.
The whole time.
Wow.
So anyway. So yeah, so he has that kind of an insight into the military, being a coach at a military institution for 8 years. I thought that was interesting. And, anybody that tries to, I have no idea why anybody, these Cruz supporters, who I love, by the way, we love Cruz here and we love Cruz supporters, but I don't understand when they come out and say that Trump is not for the military. What are they talking about? I don't get that.
Drudge is trolling people tonight.
Uh-oh.
Cruz
a supplement being used like heroin. Local 12.
What was that?
What? Cruz, dude, somebody was trolling me.
I'll try it again. I got it. Volume's off.
Okay, Drudge is trolling people tonight. Drudge is trolling people tonight.